Joining me today is Kim Fine, the Director of Development in Kurn Hattin Homes. We talked about sort of the mission of your institution, your school, your home, but we also talked a little bit about sort of the population you serve. But I want to sort of brand this out, and I want to think a little bit and ask you about sort of the needs that you've seen when you think about children and families and how they've evolved over 20, 30 years. And what are the issues that we ought to think about from a state perspective or a region perspective as we think about the issues that families deal with? Not the micro of the good work you're doing, but just sort of in general.
I think I mentioned before, too, the fact that I think children's organizations in general have gone from being institutions, a word I don't really like at all, into something that we have, which really is unique, and it is a home. We are actually providing a home that the children, for whatever reason, aren't being able to have at this point. But I would say the bigger issues are really poverty. I think poverty is affecting a lot of families, and therefore they're not able to give the care to the children that they're trying to raise, care for themselves even.
And so these are parents that are making a very tough decision, in your case, to say, what is a better life for my child? What can I do to help them?
Right. I consider it heroic, really. I mean, consider yourself. I don't know if you have children or not, but what it would take for you to make a decision to have someone else take care of your children, regardless of the situation you're in. But it really takes a lot of compassion and love for your children to say, this we're going to do this together. And I think the other important point I need to point out too is we do have a family outreach department that actually really works with the family in this place too, to be able to work with them so they understand what they're going to be able to do for the children, and to help them get the help that they may need, or to help understand how this process works, and to be with us throughout the whole process.
Tell me, you mentioned earlier that you are seeing grandparents taking care of children, and it's not their children, it's their grandchildren.
Right.
Is that? I know that's always happened. But do you see that as a dramatic increase or an increase?
We are seeing a big increase in grandparents raising their grandchildren for varied reasons. Their children aren't able to take care of the children. So maybe there is some drug abuse in there, or mental illness, or incarceration. I mean, anything you can imagine, reasons why the families themselves can't care for their own children. And so the grandparents have to step in. And actually, going along with the poverty, people aren't able to raise enough money to take care of the children that they've had. So we are seeing a lot of that, and homelessness as well.
Are there a lot of other organizations also that you work with collaboratively to deal with the families? And you collaborate with organizations, if they came from New Hampshire or from Massachusetts and they're going home, do you partner with more local organizations?
Well, certainly to get the word out, our admissions department is out and about talking to clergy, school counselors, teachers, going to child care conferences, where we have a booth, so people know what Kurn Hattin is and that we have these services available. So we do partner in that way. I mean, people say, I know a family in need, give Kurn Hattin a call.
And, I want to go back to the family and the house and the home business, the cottages. How many different cottages are there?
We have 9 right now, and basically they're really wonderful. They have, a living room, and the children have a bedroom where they usually share with another child or two, and then there's a kitchen there. Most of the meals are up in the cafeteria, but they will have meals, let's say a pancake breakfast on a Sunday or something like that, and it's very nice. A little playground a little bit outside, and just a beautiful view. We're in Vermont. We look out at New Hampshire, and it's beautiful.
So we've got about 35 seconds left. What's the most important thing our viewers ought to be thinking about in terms of your organization or just children in general? Leave us with one point.
Just one point, huh?
Or two.
If you know a child in need, a family in need, please turn to Kurn Hattin for help. And also, if you would like to donate, we would love to have your support. We would not be here today without donations, and especially donations to our endowment. And that's bequests, when people leave bequests in their will.
And they can find information on your website.
Yes, www.kernhattin.org. Or helpforkids.org, making it much easier.
Helpforkids.org.
Helpforkids.org.
Well, great. We're out of time, but thank you so much.
Thank you.